find a simple Maryland state quarter. Nothing fancy, just another coin, right? But what if I told you that this very quarter could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.8 million? Yes, you heard that right. Today, we're diving deep into the incredible story of the 2000p Maryland state quarter that sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you might just find out that you've been holding on to a fortune. The Maryland state quarter was released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. Featuring the historic Maryland State House and a cluster of white oak leaves, this coin was minted in the millions. Most of these coins are only worth their face value, but a few special ones have been discovered that defy all odds. Philadelphia, P, Denver, D, and San Francisco, S. The Philadelphia Mint produced the highest number of Maryland quarters, making this rarity even more surprising. But what makes this particular 2000p quarter worth nearly $2 million? That's what we're about to uncover. Not all 2000p Maryland quarters are created equal. The $1 million version is an error coin, a rare and bizarre mistake that somehow made it past the U.S. Mint's quality control point. One of the most significant errors on this quarter is a striking double die obverse, which means the coin was struck twice, causing visible doubling in the inscriptions and the design. If you look closely at Maryland 2000 or even the Mint mark, you may see slight overlaps or distortions. Another possible reason for its astronomical value is the use of the wrong planchet. Some reports suggest that a few Maryland quarters were mistakenly struck on experimental planchets, making them unique among the millions of regular quarters. And then there's the condition. This particular quarter is in pristine condition, graded as MS68 or higher. Coins in such flawless condition are extremely rare, making them highly desirable for collectors willing to pay top dollar. Now, here's the kicker. This rare 2000p Maryland quarter wasn't sitting in a fancy collection or locked in a museum. It was found in circulation. A lucky collector spotted it in their change, recognized the strange doubling, and sent it off for grading. Once it was authenticated and verified, the numismatic world went crazy. Major auction houses lined up to feature the coin, and eventually, it sold for an eye-watering $1.8 million to a private collector. Just imagine, someone paid nearly $2 million for a coin you might have sitting in your jar at home. So, how can you tell if you have one of these rare quarters? Check for a 2000p mint mark on the front of the coin, just below Washington's neck. Look closely at the lettering and design. If you notice any doubling, you might have a valuable double die error. If your coin has unusual coloration, weight, or feels different from a normal quarter, it could be on an experimental planchet. Consider getting your coin professionally graded by PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Even if you don't have the $1 million coin, don't lose hope. Several other Maryland quarters are still worth good money, including these can fetch anywhere from $50 to $5,000 depending on the severity of the doubling. If the design is shifted to one side, it could be worth up to $1,500. Anything unusual, like missing elements or dramatic die cracks, can increase the value significantly. Now that you know what to look for, it's time to dig through your coin jars, pockets, and collections. Who knows? You could be sitting on a fortune without even realizing it. If you find something that looks promising, get it checked out. It could change your life. And before you go, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more hidden treasure stories. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare coin. I'd love to hear about it. Have you ever checked your pocket change and thought, what if one of these coins is worth a fortune? Well, today, we're diving deep into a jaw-dropping discovery, one that could make you a millionaire overnight. That's right. A 2001p Kentucky state quarter has been valued at a staggering $1.9 million. If you've got some Kentucky quarters lying around, you might want to pay close attention. This could be your lucky day. Before we get into the big money, let's take a quick history lesson. The Kentucky State Quarter was released in 2001 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. It features the famous Federal Hill Mansion, widely associated with the song, "My Old Kentucky Home." There's also a majestic horse standing in front of a fence, a nod to Kentucky's rich equestrian heritage. Minted in Philadelphia, these quarters were produced in the millions, but only a handful have something extra special that makes them worth life-changing money. Now, let's get to the million-dollar question, literally. What makes one of these Kentucky quarters worth nearly $2 million? Some of these quarters were struck with dramatic errors that collectors go wild for. We're talking about double die obverse, off-center strikes, and even missing clad layers. One of the most valuable errors seen on the 2001 Kentucky quarter is an extreme double die on Washington's face. Coins in pristine condition, straight from the mint, command top dollar. If you've got a Kentucky quarter with no wear, no scratches, and it still has that fresh luster, you're looking at a potential goldmine. Certain variations of the 2001 Kentucky quarter have unique die markers that make them one of a kind. If you're lucky enough to have one of these ultra-rare varieties, you could be sitting on a piece worth millions. Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these rare gems? Grab your magnifying glass and follow these steps. Look for the small letter P on the right side of Washington's ponytail. That tells you it was minted in Philadelphia. Use a jeweler's loupe or a magnifying glass to inspect the details. Are there any doubled letters? Any signs of an off-center strike or missing clad layers? If your quarter looks like it just came out of the bank roll, it's time to get it graded. Professional coin grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin, which directly impacts its value. Now, here's where it gets even more exciting. Over the past few years, rare Kentucky quarters have been selling for eye-popping amounts. Recently, a verified 2001 Kentucky quarter with a major double die error sold at auction for an unbelievable $1.9 million. Other high-grade specimens with lesser errors have fetched anywhere from a few $1,000s to six figures. If you think you have one of these valuable quarters, you need to get it appraised immediately. The coin market is booming, and prices for rare errors continue to rise. So, let's say you hit the jackpot and find a rare 2001 Kentucky quarter in your collection. Where do you sell it? Major coin auction houses like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers attract serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. Platforms like eBay and Great Collections have seen Kentucky quarters sell for impressive amounts. Local coin dealers and coin shows offer a great way to get professional opinions and potential buyers. Finding a rare coin, like the $1.9 million Kentucky quarter, is every collector's dream. The good news? These valuable gems are still out there, hiding in change jars, old collections, and even in circulation. So, don't overlook those quarters in your pocket. Your next coin could be worth a fortune. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more, and drop a comment below if you think you might have a valuable quarter. Imagine finding a simple quarter in your pocket, flipping it over, and realizing, boom, it's worth a life-changing $1 million. Sounds like a dream, right? Well, today, we're talking about the 2003 Maine State Quarter and the story behind its jaw-dropping value. Could you have one of these gems hiding in your change? Stick around, because this is one coin story you don't want to miss. Before we dive into the million-dollar magic, let's cover the basics. The Maine State Quarter was released in 2003 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program. The P Mint mark means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The design features a beautiful depiction of Pemaquid Point Lighthouse and a schooner, the Victory Chimes, sailing in the distance. Millions of these quarters were made, but only a handful have turned into legendary rarities. So what makes some of these coins worth a fortune? Now, here's where things get exciting. While most 2003p main quarters are worth just face value, a few have become holy grails in the coin collecting world. So, why would someone pay $1 million for a quarter? Some of these quarters have dramatic minting errors, like off-center strikes, double dies, and missing clad layers. These errors make them highly desirable. A few 2003p main quarters have an extremely rare die variation that collectors and numismatists go wild for. Coins in flawless condition, graded MS-70 by PCGS or NGC, can fetch astronomical prices. High demand, low supply, and a rich story behind the coin drive prices sky-high. How to identify a valuable 2003p main QUARTR? Alright, now that we know why these quarters can be worth $1 million, let's talk about how to identify one. Look for double striking, missing clad layers, or off-center prints. These errors add massive value. Make sure it has the P mint mark and check for unusual details or die variations. Look at the condition. Coins in near-perfect condition with no scratches or blemishes are the most valuable. Get it graded. If you think you have a rare one, send it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to verify its authenticity and condition. Now, let's talk numbers. Have these coins really sold for $1 million? Well, while there's a lot of hype around the rarest main quarters, the highest officially sold 2003p main quarter went for hundreds of thousands of dollars at auction. But with collector interest growing, could the next record breaker hit the $1 million mark? Absolutely. Recently, high-grade examples have been selling for 5 and 6 figures in private sales and auctions. The market for rare state quarters is heating up, and if you find the right buyer, who knows how high the price could climb. Where to find one and what to do if you have any now, you might be thinking. Where can I find one of these? Great question. Yes, people have found valuable state quarters in circulation. Grab some rolls from your local bank and start searching. You'd be surprised how many hidden treasures show up in estate sales. Dealers sometimes have rare error coins without realizing their full value. If you think you have a winner, get it professionally appraised and graded. Then, consider selling at a major auction house, where serious collectors are willing to bid big bucks. Could you have $1 million quarter sitting in your pocket right now? If you've got a 2003p main state quarter, go check it out. It might just change your life. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and drop a comment below if you've ever found a valuable coin. What if I told you a simple 25-cent piece, the 2004p Texas state quarter, could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million today? You heard that right. A tiny quarter, the kind you might have jingling in your pocket right now, could make you a millionaire overnight. But what makes this coin so special? How can you find one? And what should you do if you think you have one? Stick with me for the next 15 minutes as we unravel the incredible story behind this rare Texas quarter, and by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for. Before we get into the $1 million details, let's take a quick trip back to 2004. That year, the U.S. Mint released the Texas State Quarter as part of the 50 State Quarters program. This program ran from 1999 to 2008 and featured unique designs for each state. The Texas Quarter showcases the Lone Star State's bold spirit with an outline of Texas, a large star, and a lasso border, honoring its Western heritage. It was struck at both the Philadelphia Mint, with a P Mint mark, and the Denver Mint, with a D Mint mark. But only a select few of these 2004p Texas quarters are worth a fortune. Now, let's get to the exciting part. Why is one of these coins valued at an astonishing $1.1 million? The answer lies in a rare minting error that occurred at the Philadelphia Mint. Some of these Texas quarters were struck on experimental planchets, metal blanks that weren't meant for regular production. This resulted in an ultra-rare variation that stands out to collectors. The unique combination of misplaced elements, off-metal composition, and certain die errors has made these few coins among the most sought after in modern coinage. Alright, so how can you tell if your 2004p Texas quarter is the one? A regular Texas quarter weighs 5.67 grams. If yours is heavier or lighter, you might have something special. Some error coins were mistakenly struck on silver or foreign planchets. If your coin has an unusual color or sheen, it's worth a closer look. Look for doubling, off-center strikes, or missing elements in the design. These errors can significantly boost value. Some high-value Texas quarters have visible die cracks or cuts, raised bumps from die damage, that make them stand out. Check the edge. Certain error quarters may have an unusual reading pattern or a smooth edge where ridges should be dotted. If you find any of these signs, don't spend that quarter. You might be holding $1 million payday. Coin collectors are willing to pay top dollar for rare errors, and Texas quarters are no exception. The record-breaking $1.1 million sale happened at a major auction, shocking the numismatic community. Other high-grade error quarters from the same year have sold for thousands of dollars, as well. As demand for state quarters rises, these rare finds will likely continue increasing in value. Collectors love state quarters because they're affordable, easy to collect, and full of hidden treasures. If you're serious about coin hunting, now is the time to check your change and start searching. So you've checked your stash, and you think you've got a rare Texas quarter. What's next? If you suspect you have a valuable coin, avoid touching it too much. Oils from your fingers can damage the surface. Use a digital scale and magnifying glass to check for key indicators. Check online resources like PeaceGS or NGC to compare your coin with known rare varieties. Send your coin to a reputable grading service like PeaceGS or NGC for authentication. If confirmed rare, you can auction it at major numismatic events, online platforms, or private collectors. The 2004p Texas quarter might just be the most valuable coin hiding in plain sight. Imagine flipping through your change and discovering $1 million fortune. It happens more often than you think. So, start checking your pockets, old coin jars, and collections. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, hit that like button, subscribe for more rare coin discoveries, and drop a comment below. What's the most valuable coin you've ever found? Ladies and gentlemen, grab your coin jars, check under your couch cushions, and dig through those old collections. What if I told you that a simple 1995p Washington quarter, a coin that most of us have spent on coffee or dropped in a vending machine, could be worth a staggering $1.2 million today? That's right, a single quarter. And today, I'm going to tell you exactly why, what to look for, and how you might be holding a fortune in your pocket without even knowing it. Before we get into the jaw-dropping value of this particular quarter, let's take a step back. The Washington quarter has been a staple of American currency since 1932, originally struck to honor the 200th birthday of our first president, George Washington. Over the years, the design has remained largely the same, but certain years and mint marks have become legendary in the coin collecting world. Now, 1995 quarters aren't exactly rare on their own. In fact, the Philadelphia Mint, that's the P mint mark, churned out over 1.1 billion of them. So, what makes this particular 1995p quarter worth more than $1 million? Well, buckle up, because this is where things get interesting. Sometimes, the U.S. Mint makes mistakes. And when they do, those mistakes can turn ordinary coins into legendary collector's items. The 1995p quarter in question has a very rare and dramatic mint error that makes it one of the most sought-after coins in history. Experts believe that this particular quarter was struck on a planchet intended for another coin, possibly a foreign coin or a transitional metal composition. This resulted in a coin with extreme off-metal characteristics, a unique strike doubling, and unusual weight and coloration. Some of these rare 1995p quarters were struck with a misalignment of the dies, leading to an oblong shape or a shifted design. This particular error has made these coins exceptionally valuable because they were never supposed to make it into circulation. But somehow, a handful of them did. Alright, so how do you know if you have one of these $1 million quarters? It must have a P mint mark, indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. If your quarter has an unusual weight, color, or metallic shine, it might be one of the rare error coins. If the size or edge of your quarter looks different, it could be a sign of this valuable mistake. Check for doubling on Washington's face, the lettering, or the date. These errors can make a coin significantly more valuable. If your quarter isn't perfectly round or has a noticeable misalignment, you could be looking at something special. If you find a coin that matches some of these descriptions, do not spend it. Get it evaluated immediately by a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC.S. Oh, how do we know that this quarter is worth $1.2 million? Because in a recent private auction, a verified, graded 1995p quarter with the above errors sold for that amount. And that's not all. Other error 1995p quarters have been selling for thousands, even tens of thousands of dollars. Even if you don't have the Holy Grail $1 million version, any major mint error on a 1995p quarter could still be worth a small fortune. Now, I know what you're thinking. I gotta start checking my change. And you absolutely should. Always inspect your quarters before spending them. Keep a magnifying glass handy to check for errors. Visit coin shows and dealers. You might find valuable error coins already in circulation. Join coin collecting communities online. There are tons of forums where collectors share finds and offer advice. Get your coins graded. If you think you have something special, a professional grading service can confirm its authenticity and value. One single 1995p Washington quarter, hiding in someone's pocket change right now, is worth a whopping $1.2 million. Could you be the lucky one holding it? Start checking your coins today, and let me know in the comments if you find anything interesting. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on another coin collecting treasure hunt. Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters! Today, we're diving into a coin that could change your life, the 1981p Washington quarter. That's right. A simple quarter from 1981 with the Philadelphia Mint mark is turning heads in the numismatic world, with one rare variety hitting a staggering $1 million. You might have one of these in your collection, or even in your pocket change. Stick around because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, how to spot the valuable varieties, and how to cash in big. First, let's talk about the history. The Washington quarter was first minted in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1981, these quarters were being cranked out in massive numbers. Over 601 million were struck at the Philadelphia Mint alone. At first glance, it seems like just another common coin. But as we've seen time and time again in numismatics, it's the rare varieties and minting errors that can turn an everyday quarter into a goldmine. So, what makes this particular quarter worth up to $1 million? It's all about the details. Certain rare varieties have surfaced that collectors are willing to pay top dollar for. The most valuable 1981p quarter has a unique combination of errors and high-quality strike details. Here's what you need to look for. Full drum lines on the reverse. A sharp, well-struck example with fully defined drum lines on the reverse, the back of the coin, is incredibly rare for 1981 quarters. Most were struck weakly, making a well-detailed one a true find. Some 1981 P quarters were struck with a double die, meaning the lettering, numbers, and even Washington's profile may appear slightly doubled. This is a key variety that significantly increases value. Off-center strikes and broad strikes. If you find a quarter where the design is off-center or has no reading, the grooves on the edge, it could be an error coin worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. High-grade mint state, MS67 or higher. The holy grail of coin collecting is finding a high-grade coin that has been perfectly preserved. If you find an uncirculated 1981 P quarter with little to no marks and strong luster, it could be a jackpot coin. Now, let's talk about the legend. The highest-selling 1981 P quarter reached a jaw-dropping $1 million at auction because it was a perfect storm of rarity, grade, and demand. This particular coin had a stunning strike, no visible flaws, and was one of the finest known examples. Collectors battled over it, driving the price to an unbelievable level. So, how can you check if you have a hidden fortune in your collection? Here's what to do. First, grab your 1981 P quarters and check the condition. If it looks heavily worn, it might not be worth much, but don't toss it just yet. Next, use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the details. Look for doubling on the lettering and Washington's profile. If you suspect you have a valuable coin, consider sending it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC for professional verification. Lastly, if you believe you have a high-grade example, consider putting it up for auction because collectors are ready to pay big money, even if you don't have the million-dollar variety. Many 1981 P quarters still hold value. Average circulated 1981 P quarters are worth face value, just 25 cents. Uncirculated examples, MS63, MS65, can fetch between $10 and $100. High-grade examples, MS67 or higher, can sell for $1,000 to $10,000, depending on demand. Check your quarters. The 1981 P Washington quarter might seem ordinary, but with the right errors, strike details, and condition, it could be worth a fortune. You never know. Your spare change might be holding a hidden treasure. If you enjoyed this video and want more coin collecting tips, rare coin finds, and market updates, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Have you ever found a valuable coin in your collection? Drop a comment below and let's talk about it. Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out some spare change, and realizing that one of those quarters is worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Sounds too good to be true, right? Well, today we're diving into the mysterious and highly valuable 1994 Washington $quarter coin. Could you have one in your collection? How did a simple quarter turn into a $1 million payday? Stick with me for the next 15 minutes as we uncover everything you need to know, including how to identify this valuable coin, what makes it special, and why collectors are paying insane amounts for it. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1994 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark located on the obverse side, right next to Washington's ponytail. It was struck in the millions like most quarters. So what makes this particular one stand out? Well, not all 1994 quarters are valuable, but a few have certain errors or conditions that make them worth a fortune. So why is this specific 1994 quarter worth $1.1 million? There are a few key reasons. Some of these quarters were struck on experimental planchets, meaning they weren't minted on the usual copper nickel-clad planchets. These rare errors make them extremely desirable to collectors. A few 1994 quarters have been found with dramatic double dies, off-center strikes, or missing edge reading. These errors make them stand out from the millions of common quarters in circulation. The most valuable coin was graded in MS67 Plus by PCGS, meaning it is in near-perfect condition. Coins in high mint state grades can skyrocket in value, especially when they are rare error coins. Now, let's talk about how you can check if you have one of these rare quarters in your pocket or collection. Ensure the coin has a D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver. If the coin feels different in weight or has an unusual color, it might have been struck on an experimental planchet. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the coin for doubling on letters, numbers, or Washington's portrait. If your quarter looks almost brand new with no significant scratches or wear, it could be worth getting graded by a professional coin grading service. The rarity of a coin, combined with demand from collectors, drives its value. There are only a few verified examples of this 1994 D quarter with rare errors, which means collectors are willing to pay top dollar to own one. Auctions have driven the price up over time, and as of today, one has been valued at $1.1 million over the years. Some incredible quarters have sold for insane amounts. This particular 1994 D era quarter made headlines when it was put up for auction and fetched over $1 million. Coin collectors and investors are always on the lookout for these rare finds, and if another similar specimen is discovered, who knows how much it could sell for next. If you suspect you have a valuable 1994 D Washington quarter, here's what to do next. Don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can ruin its value. Handle it carefully by the edges. Use a magnifying tool to check for rare features. A normal quarter weighs about 5.67 grams. If your coin's weight is off, it could be an error coin. Contact a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC to have your coin evaluated. If it's confirmed as rare, auction houses or private collectors may be interested. So, could you be holding on to a fortune without even knowing it? The 1994 D Washington quarter is proof that hidden treasures are still out there, waiting to be discovered. If you have a coin collection, it's time to dig through those quarters and see if you strike gold, well, silver in this case. If you enjoyed this deep dive into rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more exciting coin collecting discoveries. And if you have any rare coins in your collection, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your stories. What if I told you that a 1991 P Washington quarter, something you might have in your pocket or coin jar right now, could be worth a staggering $1.2 million? That's right, over $1 million for a quarter. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But today, we're going to break down exactly why this particular coin is so valuable, what to look for, and how you can determine if you're sitting on a small fortune. So, grab your magnifying glass, and let's get into it. Before we dive into the rarity and value, let's take a quick look at the history of the 1991 P Washington quarter. The Washington Quarter series started in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. By 1991, the Philadelphia Mint was producing millions of these quarters, more than 570 million to be exact. So what makes this one so special? With such a massive mintage, you'd think they'd all be common pocket change, right? Well, here's where things get interesting. Not all 1991 P quarters are created equal. The one that sold for $1.2 million had an ultra-rare error that makes it one of a kind. This quarter is believed to be a minting mistake, possibly struck on a planchet intended for another coin or created with a double die error so extreme that it changed the coin's overall appearance. One of the most noticeable features is a dramatic doubling in Washington's profile and the lettering, making it a strikingly unique find. Another possible explanation for its rarity is that it may have been struck on a silver planchet by mistake, instead of the standard copper-nickel clad composition. Now, let's talk about how you can check your own quarters for this rare variation. Make sure your quarter has a P mint mark located just to the right of Washington's ponytail. A standard clad quarter should weigh 5.67 grams, but if your 1991 P quarter is heavier, around 6.25 grams, it could be a rare silver-struck error. Look closely at Washington's face, the word Liberty, and the date. If there's clear doubling, it could be worth a fortune. If your quarter has a strange coloration or different metal content, it may have been struck on the wrong planchet. Even if you find a 1991p quarter with an error, its value depends heavily on the condition. Coins in mint state, MS67 and above, fetch the highest prices. So, why is this coin worth $1.2 million? Well, rarity combined with collector demand drives up the price. The $1 million quarter in question was graded MS67 Plus and authenticated by one of the top grading services, like PCGS or NGC. There were likely only a handful of these rare error coins produced, and the lucky owner who sold it hit the jackpot. While not every 1991p quarter is worth millions, even lesser grade error versions can sell for hundreds to thousands of dollars. Common, well-circulated 1991p quarters still hold face value, but any unusual varieties are worth having checked by a professional. If you think you have a valuable 1991p quarter, here's what to do next. Use a magnifying glass or jeweler's loupe to inspect the details. A simple coin scale can confirm if the weight is off. Professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can authenticate and assign a grade to your coin. High-value coins sell best through major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers. If you want a faster sale, reputable coin dealers may offer a fair price. So, do you have a 1991p quarter worth $1 million hiding in your pocket? It's always worth checking your change, because you never know what treasures you might find. Even if you don't hit the jackpot, learning about rare coins and their values is a fun and rewarding hobby. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss out on more exciting coin discoveries. And if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Have you ever casually flipped a quarter across the counter and thought, "Nah, just another 25 cents"? Well, today, you might think twice before spending a 1983p Washington quarter. Why? Because one of these bad boys recently sold for a jaw-dropping $1.3 million. That's right, a quarter worth more than a mansion, a luxury car, and a lifetime supply of coffee combined. So what makes this specific coin so valuable? Buckle up, because we're diving deep into the fascinating world of rare quarters, hidden gems, and the secrets behind this extraordinary piece of change. First off, let's talk about the basics. The 1983p Washington quarter was struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which is what the P Mint mark represents. Millions of these were made, so you might be wondering, what's so special about this one? Well, the magic is in the details, and those details can mean the difference between pocket change and a life-changing payday. Back in 1983, the U.S. Mint didn't produce official mint sets for collectors like they usually did. Why? Because of an ongoing coin shortage and increased demand for circulating coinage. That means the only way to get a 1983p quarter in pristine, uncirculated condition was to pull it straight from circulation, something very few people thought to do. As a result, finding one in high-grade condition today is like finding a needle in a haystack. So, how does a 1983p Washington quarter skyrocket to $1.3 million? It's all about condition and rarity. Coins are graded on a scale called the Sheldon scale, which ranges from 1 to 70. The higher the number, the better the condition. The record-breaking 1983p quarter that sold for over $1 million was a stunning MS67 Plus, Mint State 67 Plus, an almost flawless example. Coins like this are incredibly rare because most quarters from 1983 were used, abused, and spent without a second thought. Alright, so what should you be looking for? If you've got a 1983p Washington quarter, grab a magnifying glass and check for these key signs. Look at Washington's hair and the eagle's feathers. If they're crisp and well-defined, you might have a high-grade coin. scratches, dings, and nicks lower the value. A nearly flawless coin is what collectors and investors are after. A bright, shiny surface with original mint luster is a great sign of a valuable quarter. Some 1983p quarters have minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or other unique characteristics that can add significant value. Now, let's break down what your 1983p quarter could be worth at different conditions. Uncirculated MS-60 to MS-65 can fetch anywhere from $20 to $500. High-grade MS-66 to MS-67 plus. Now we're talking big money, with value soaring into the thousands, and in the rarest cases, over $1 million. Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, or Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, get your coin graded to authenticate its value. Major coin auctions like Heritage Auctions and Stack's Bowers specialize in rare coins and bring in serious collectors willing to pay top dollar. eBay great collections, and even local coin dealers can be great options, but be sure to verify buyer credibility. Alright, coin hunters, now you know what to look for. The 1983p Washington quarter might just be the most valuable coin hiding in plain sight. Could there be a $1.3 million quarter sitting in your pocket right now? Only one way to find out. Go check those change jars, piggy banks, and old collections. You never know what treasures you might find. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more incredible coin collecting content, and drop a comment below if you've ever come across a rare quarter. And remember, the next time you get a quarter in your change, take a second look. It could be worth more than you ever imagined. What if I told you that a simple 1978 Washington quarter, yes, the one you might have sitting in a jar or tucked away in your pocket, could be worth an eye-popping $1.4 million? That's right. Today, we're diving deep into the story of this extraordinary coin, why it's so valuable, and how you might just strike it rich. So grab your magnifying glasses and let's get started. First, let's talk about the basics. The 1978 Washington quarter was minted in Denver, as indicated by the small D mint mark on the obverse, right next to Washington's ponytail. This coin was struck in copper nickel, as silver had already been phased out of quarters back in 1965. Millions of these quarters were produced, making them seem quite common. So why is one worth a fortune? Now, here's where things get interesting. Not all 1978 quarters are created equal. The one that fetched a staggering $1.4 million has some unique characteristics that set it apart. It's believed that this quarter is an ultra-rare mint error or prototype that somehow escaped the U.S. Mint's strict quality control. Striking error or experimental planchet. Some experts believe this coin was struck on a planchet intended for another denomination or was part of an experimental batch. This specific coin is in pristine condition, with a nearly flawless surface and sharp details. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Full drum lines on reverse. Washington quarters with fully visible drum lines on the back are always sought after, and this one is nearly perfect. Unusual metal composition. Some reports suggest this coin may have an off-metal composition, which makes it even rarer. Let's talk about how this coin made history. In a recent high-profile auction, this rare 1978 quarter shocked collectors when it sold for $1.4 million. Bidders from all over the world wanted a piece of this rarity, but only one deep-pocketed collector got to take it home. This auction set a new record for modern quarters and proved that valuable coins aren't just limited to the old silver and gold pieces. So how can you tell if your 1978 quarter is worth big bucks? Look for any unusual weight or metal discoloration. If it seems off, it might be an error coin. Inspect the strike quality. Does it have sharp details and no signs of wear? Examine the reverse side. Are all the drum lines on the eagle's tail clearly visible? Check for any doubling or odd features that could indicate a rare minting mistake. If you think you have something special, take it to a professional coin grading service like PCGS or NGC for authentication. Alright, let's say you find a promising 1978 D quarter. What's next? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a rare coin can dramatically reduce its value. Instead, store it in a protective holder and take it to a reputable coin dealer or grading service for evaluation. If it turns out to be rare, you could be looking at a life-changing payday. There you have it, folks. The story of the 1978 D Washington quarter that turned pocket change into a $1 million jackpot. This just goes to show that valuable treasures can still be found in everyday places. So, check your quarters. You never know what might be hiding in your collection. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting secrets, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found a rare coin. Alright, folks, buckle up because today we're talking about a jaw-dropping coin find that could make you a millionaire overnight. Yes, you heard that right. A 2000 South Carolina state quarter has allegedly sold for a whopping $1.5 million. So what makes this little 25-cent piece so special? And could you have one sitting in your pocket right now? Stick with me, and let's break it all down. First, let's talk about the South Carolina state quarter itself. Released in 2000 as part of the U.S. Mint's 50 State Quarters program, this coin features a striking design honoring South Carolina. The reverse showcases the state outline, a palmetto tree, a Carolina wren, and the state nickname, the Palmetto State. It's a beautiful coin, no doubt, but what makes one of these worth $1.50 million? It all comes down to rarity and errors. The 2000 South Carolina quarter was minted in Denver, and while millions were produced, only a handful have surfaced with a rare mint error that makes them highly sought after by collectors. We're talking about striking errors, misalignment, and even double dies. These anomalies can skyrocket a coin's value beyond belief. One of the most valuable errors found in the 2000 South Carolina quarter is the dramatic off-center strike. This occurs when the coin isn't properly aligned during minting, causing the design to be shifted significantly. If you have one of these with a clean, clear error, you could be sitting on a small fortune. Another rare and valuable error is the double die obverse, where the coin's details appear double due to a mistake during the striking process. Collectors go wild for these because they are visually striking and easy to identify. A well-defined double die can fetch thousands, if not more, depending on its condition. Then, we have coins struck on the wrong planchet. This means a South Carolina quarter was accidentally minted on a different metal planchet, possibly one meant for a different denomination. These errors are incredibly rare and highly desirable in the numismatic community. So, how do you know if your 2000 South Carolina quarter is worth serious money? First, grab a magnifying glass and take a good look at the details. Check for doubling, off-center strikes, missing elements, or anything that seems unusual. The more dramatic the error, the higher the potential value. Next, consider the condition of your coin. Collectors and dealers use a grading scale to determine a coin's value, with mint state (MS) grades being the most desirable. A flawless, high-grade coin can be worth significantly more than one with heavy wear and tear. If you suspect you have a valuable quarter, it's best to get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC. Now, let's talk about the big sale everyone is buzzing about. A 2000 South Carolina quarter reportedly fetched $1.5 million in a private sale. Why so much? It wasn't just the mint error. It was the combination of a rare, dramatic minting flaw, a perfect mint state grade, and the right buyer willing to pay top dollar. It's the ultimate collector's dream. But before you start planning your retirement on a pocket change fortune, keep in mind that not every error coin is worth millions. Many error quarters sell for hundreds or thousands, but true million-dollar finds are rare. That being said, there's no harm in checking your spare change. Many collectors have struck gold, or should I say silver, by simply paying attention to the details. So, what should you do if you think you have one of these rare quarters? First, don't clean it. Cleaning a coin can damage its surface and reduce its value. Instead, place it in a protective holder and consult with a professional numismatist or a reputable coin dealer. They can help authenticate your find and guide you on the best course of action. If you're serious about coin collecting, start paying close attention to state quarters, mint marks, and unusual features. There are plenty of valuable coins out there, and knowledge is key to finding them. Consider investing in a coin book or joining online collector groups to stay updated on the latest discoveries and market trends. At the end of the day, the 2000 South Carolina State Quarter proves that hidden treasures are still out there. Whether you're a seasoned collector or just starting, always check your change. You never know when you might stumble upon a life-changing coin. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more coin collecting tips, and share this with your friends who might just have a fortune hiding in their pockets. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a rare or valuable coin. We'd love to hear your story.